This is my first time ever on the beautiful islands of Hawaii. My girlfriend Tara had been wanting to come here and she wanted to do a trip together. So I think back in like maybe February or March, we booked a trip out here to Maui. So I'm not very familiar with all the islands and stuff like that, but she wanted to come to Maui. So we got in last night. We're here for like kind of a long weekend, like four-day trip. So I don't have a lot of like water and that sort of like experience, you know, so ocean sort of stuff. So certainly out of my element, but I'm excited because yeah, just, you know, it's Hawaii. I've never been here before. Pretty damn sick. So the plan today is to explore what is called the road to Hana. From what I understand, it's kind of like the scenic drive along the island with a bunch of waterfalls, hikes, beaches, all that sort of stuff. So kind of getting like an earlier start. This is our little Airbnb, kind of like a little studio setup. And then you come over here. There's my beautiful girlfriend. What part of Maui are we at?
Kihei.
Kihei.
It's kind of like in the middle of the west side of the island.
And why did you want to come to Maui?
I would have gone to any of the islands. I think Maui was the cheapest option for the most activities, because I know Lucas doesn't like to sit around. He's not good at just like hanging out on the beach. So there's a lot of hikes and stuff on Maui, but it wasn't as expensive as going to like Kauai. Kauai is also, it seems like there's less towns in Kauai compared to Maui, so we get a little dip into both like the food scene, and then we can hike a lot and go to the beach here.
Are we technically on the road to Hana or not yet?
A lot of people say that this is like the first stop that kicks off the road to Hana, but I don't think we're like on the road yet.
Well, we're starting the road to Hana and we came to a beach and there's a bunch of turtles and people surfing. Those things right there, they look like rocks, but they're actually a bunch of turtles just hanging out. Just everything looks so beautiful on the camera. Even that right there. Look at that. And now we're going on our first little exploration down to the water too. Oh, we're not supposed to say it? Okay.
We're to a hidden spot.
Secret spot. So we came out to a state park that I'm not going to really try to pronounce.
Yeah, a really long name that starts with a W.
But
the Black Rock Sand Beach Park.
Black Sand Beach or something. So these waves were huge, and then I got absolutely wasted, and my GoPro broke off the arm that I had it on, and I lost my GoPro. Second time in the water in this trip, day one. Tara said I was butt cheeks up.
And then I saw his feet.
Good thing I have 2 other GoPros, but
I want that footage.
Yeah, whoever finds that, it's gonna be a good one.
It says water that recognizes no friend. This describes a dangerous stream or waterfall. The Hawaiian proverb is a warning to always be respectful of the power of natural forces. Flooded streams, waterfalls, and falling rocks will not stop for anything in their paths.
Wow. No doubt.
No doubt.
Not even GoPros. I never thought I'd be at a national park out here in Maui. I got to use my national park pass and everything. So
there's not a ton of hikes, but we're deciding to do this like 2-mile jaunt up to a waterfall. So it's kind of our last thing of the day here. And it's cool, like through these bamboo forests and roots and all this, so a lot of different setting, but pretty cool. National park.
What do you think?
It's wild.
Was it worth it?
So worth it. It was a really pretty hike. Please brush your shoes before and after you hike. Let me get yours.
This morning we are doing what's called the Waihee Ridge Trail. It's apparently one of the most beautiful hikes on the island, according to a local barista. It is about 2 miles up, so 4 round trip, but it's got a pretty good amount of vertical to it over the distance. So, but I take it takes us up and really gets us over the entire island. So starting like 9 a.m. and should be up in a little bit.
Big mountain and the ocean right there, all in one.
How is it so far? Is it pretty tough or what?
It was a little steep in the beginning, and then it kind of mellows out, but I know there's a lot of elevation gain, so I'm kind of waiting for it to pick back up. Not trying to get too ahead of myself.
Pacing yourself.
Yes.
After 2 miles of hiking with nearly 1,600 feet of elevation gain, we finally reached the top and were greeted with some insane cloud movement. Once we made it back down, we continued our adventure on the west side of Maui. We drove a crazy narrow road that was filled with one-lane bridges, cliff drop-offs, beautiful ocean views, and even moments through what felt like the rainforest. We stopped off at a very touristy resort in the town of Catania for my first taste of a Hawaiian poke bowl, which was delicious by the way, before spending a few hours at one of the most picturesque beaches I've ever been to. It was a great way to end off a morning of hiking and an afternoon of driving around in the car.
What are we doing?
Watching sunset.
That looks so crazy. Where are we at?
I forget the name of this specific beach, but we are near Wailea Beach. But technically not on Wailea Beach.
I realized today we explored the western side of Maui, like the entire thing. We basically drove all the way around it and came back. And we were kind of parched. We went swimming for a while. We're at the beach. And so we cleaned ourselves up. Then we came out here for a sunset mission, really our first one of the trip before we cap off with some dinner. But it is shaping up to be an absolutely stunning sunset here. And a very beautiful place, so.
I'm warm.
I'm warm. Cozy.
get the sunset we were hoping for, but it was still absolutely beautiful. So we will try again tomorrow. So this morning, we are doing what we have called poor man's snorkeling. We've been wanting to go snorkeling, but unfortunately the trips are kind of like expensive, $200. And so we bought some really, really cheap goggles from like a dollar store here.
The ABC store.
The ABC store. There's a bunch of snorkelers and stuff out there, but we're not very optimistic about our goggles. Are you?
No, I might have to hold mine. But a kid just said he saw a sea urchin. It's pretty cool.
So yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. What?
All right, little fishy. See you in a minute.
Yeah, I saw a fish. It's so crazy. The goggles aren't perfect, but they're allowing me to see, which is super rad. That's a video. I'm trying to think about what to say. Where are we?
There's nothing to say.
We came up to the national park that we were in yesterday, or 2 days ago, when we went to Hana, right? Technically this is the same national park. But you basically drove up this road to literally 10,000 feet. It's about 50 degrees. And it just gets you up above the clouds, and I think that's like the attraction. It's just kind of really crazy. So came up here for sunset, drove up through mist and the clouds, and now we're like above the clouds, and it's just kind of, yeah, next level shit. Feels like you're up on an airplane. So we're gonna hang out. Probably sunsets in like 30 minutes. Is that it?
Just gonna watch the pretty clouds.
I was honestly blown away from my first time in Hawaii. The endless beauty, the culture, and the diversity of the terrain in such a small area was something I was not expecting. Although our trip was short-lived, we packed a lot in. From roadside mango to proper acai bowls and fresh seafood, the experience left me yearning for more. To finish the trip above the clouds at 10,000 feet was the only way to send off such an incredible trip. Now it's just a matter of figuring out when to go back. Thanks for watching.